Have you ever wished you could just download knowledge straight into your brain? Oh, totally. Well, Google's been working on something that might be the next best thing. So, what you just heard? That was made completely by AI. No actors, no cameras, not even a studio. The big question is, how? Okay, let's break this down because the answer is literally rewriting what it means to be a content creator. Here's the roadmap for today. We're going to start with this new role of the AI producer. Then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of crafting your own digital talent. After that, we'll talk about mastering the algorithms so people actually see your work. We'll navigate the super tricky legal maze of copyright. And finally, we'll look at what all this means for your role as a creator going forward. All right, first up, the new AI producer. The whole game is changing. We're seeing this massive shift away from being the person on camera to being the director, the strategist, really the curator of what the AI creates. This quote right here, it just nails it. Think about it. Your writers, your voice actors, your hosts, they're all AI now. So your job isn't to perform, it's to orchestrate the whole show. You're not just the talent anymore. You're the executive producer of your very own AI media empire. Just look at the difference. The traditional creator, you're often bogged down with being on camera, writing every single word by hand, and spending endless hours editing. The AI producer, though, is all about strategy. They're focused on things like prompt engineering, which is just the art of giving the AI the right instructions, curating the best stuff the AI spits out, and keeping an eye on the big picture. It's a totally different skill set. And one of the coolest things about this shift is who it empowers. Think about professionals who are maybe a little more introverted. The pressure to be on all the time for the camera can be completely draining. But with these tools, AI handles the performance. It lets them focus on their actual ideas and engage in a way that feels authentic, without all the anxiety. It turns what used to be a huge barrier into a real opportunity. Okay, so if that's the new role, how does it actually work in practice? Let's get our hands dirty and break down the step-by-step workflow for crafting your own digital talent. So this is basically the recipe, the core production line. You start by generating the audio from your notes or articles, using something like Google's NotebookLM. Then, you dream up your on-screen talent using AI image generators. From there, you use some specialized tools to split the audio so each character has their own track. Feed that into a video generator to actually animate them. And then finally, you stitch it all together in an editor. Now, the engine for this whole process is often a tool like Google's NotebookLM. It's kind of wild. You can feed it pretty much anything. Articles, research, even just links to videos. And with a single click, it spits out a surprisingly natural-sounding podcast conversation based on all that info. It's basically your automated writing room and your voice actors all rolled into one. Now for the visuals. To make your AI avatar look believable and not, super creepy, the quality of the video you feed it is everything. The best practices are actually pretty simple. Use a good high-res camera, get some soft, even lighting, keep your background clean, and try not to make any sudden, jerky movements. Seriously, getting these little details right is what separates a clunky, uncanny avatar from one that looks totally professional. Okay, so you did it. You created this amazing, stunning AI video. Now what? Let's jump into our third section, mastering the algorithm. Because a masterpiece is completely useless if it's just sitting in the dark. This is the million-dollar question for every single creator out there, right? After all that work, how do you actually get eyeballs on your stuff? Especially when you're just starting out. Well, it turns out it really boils down to one key thing. And that one thing is audience retention. All it is the average percentage of your video that people actually watch. To YouTube's algorithm, this is the #1 signal that your content is interesting. If people stick around, YouTube thinks, hey, this video must be good, and it shows it to more and more people. It's really that simple. So what's a good number to aim for? Well, those first 30 seconds are absolutely critical. You want to try to keep at least 60 to 80% of people watching through that mark. After that, if you can keep your overall average retention somewhere in the 40 to 60% range, you're sending a really powerful signal to the algorithm that you've got something good. So how do you actually boost that number? It's not magic. It comes down to a few key strategies. First, you have to nail your hook. Get the most interesting part of your video right up front in the first 15 seconds. You need to keep the viewer's brain on its toes with pattern interrupts, things like quick zooms or text on screen. Edit ruthlessly. Cut out all the fluff to keep the pace tight. And most important of all, deliver on the promise you made in your title and thumbnail. But here's the thing.
Even if you master the algorithm and you start building a huge audience, there is a massive unresolved question hanging over this entire revolution. Which brings us to section 4, the copyright enigma. Yeah, because behind all of these incredible tools, there is a legal and ethical battle brewing that, frankly, could change everything.
Research from places like Mar-a-Law really zeroes in on the central issue. Does feeding an AI copyrighted books, articles, and images to train it count as infringement? This one question is at the very heart of multi-billion-dollar lawsuits that are happening right now.
And the answer totally depends on where you live. In the US, you have the concept of fair use, which is this flexible 4-part test that has often been used to allow for new technology. But in places like the UK, they have fair dealing, which is way more rigid. It has a specific, exhaustive list of what you're allowed to do. This legal split is a huge reason why the future of AI is so uncertain across the globe.
This brings us to our final section, where we're going to tie all of this together and look to the future. Your role in creation. You know, Bill Gates really captured the scale of this moment perfectly. We're standing on the edge of a transformation that's so much bigger than just making videos. The potential here to generate new ideas, to solve problems, and to create entirely new services, it's just immense.
Look, if there's one thing to take away from all this, let it be this. AI is not here to replace you. It's here to augment you. Think of it as a tool that just automates all the tedious grunt work, and that frees you up to focus on the things that are uniquely human. Your taste, your strategic vision, your creativity, your unique perspective on the world.
Which leaves us with a final, really important question to chew on. When AI can be the writer, the actor, and the editor, our role has to evolve. It becomes less about the how, the technical skill of creating, and much more about the what and the why. What you choose to create and the unique human vision you bring to it, that is the new frontier.